Hello and welcome to episode 31 of Talk of the Crown. Can you believe it? 31 episodes. Hello to everybody wherever you are in the world. In a moment, I will go to the chat room and I will see who's in there and I will say hello. But wow, what an amazing royal week it has been. There's been so much going on. And of course, this is kind of a special Remembrance episode because tomorrow is our national, in the UK, in Britain, it's our national kind of Remembrance Day. It's Remembrance Sunday, where the Queen and members of the royal family will be at the Cenotaph, which is the big monument that you see in the middle of a London street, which is not too far away from the Prime Minister's residence, actually. I've seen it myself with my own two eyes, and it is rather poignant. But they stopped the traffic on Remembrance Sunday, and it's just a big, massive remembrance of course, those who lost their lives in the wars. So I am wearing my poppies. I have this poppy, which I've had quite a while. It is quite shiny, but you can't really see. And of course, I had this one, which was donated to the channel. Please focus. Yeah, so it's a really lovely one. And yes, so this is kind of like a special remembrance episode edition. So let's just keep in mind, all of those in past wars and of course present wars which have given their lives, and of course this is for Britain, but you can remember those who have lost their lives for your country as well. So let me go and find who's in the chat room. Here we go. Now I always set it to live chat because obviously I want to see everything as it happens. Let's see who is here. We have Maslas, we have Victoria, Vicky P, sorry if I miss anybody, Angelica, Kathy G, Rosalind Smith, Go Getters here, and Dawn, and Gail, and Chelsea and Rodney, and Ingrid, and Nicole C, and Sue Miller, and Sanju, and Joyce, Book Princess is here, Ubernet, Countess Bavaria. Sorry if I'm not reading your comment. I literally will not have time. So if it was really important, please comment again. Running Late is here. And Jonah, Christine Suckup, Vianua, Marie D, Flossen Rogbane, Candice, Sonia, Alegna, Susan G. I'm not sure if I've said to you already. Sue Miller, MSB 2012, Janice is here. And Leslie and Tracy. Live, Love and Laugh, H.A. Bracken, Diecat, Claire, Soliarda 222, Charlotte, Lady Satine is here, and we have Tiffany and Betsy and Angel W. Oh, the list is endless. Lizardie, Marion, the first Mrs. R, G. Mark from Ontario in Canada, Penelope, Jeff, Bev. Oh, I think I've got down to everyone. So let's see what you're all kind of talking about. Sanju says, did the Queen invite Duchess Meagan's mom, Doria Ragland, to Sandringham this Christmas? What about Fergie? Is she invited? Okay, well, I was kind of saving that for a fake news section, but let's take a little look at some fake news, shall we? I spy some fake news. I do indeed, using my opera glasses. I spy some fake news. Where's my fan? Okay, I am going to flap at the moment the Doria Ragland rumour that she is being invited to Sandringham for Christmas. I was going to do a live chat on it. I've got additional notes. That's how prepared I am for this question, for this fake news. Okay, so has Meg's mum, Doria Ragland, been invited to Sandringham for Christmas? Okay, it is a rumour. Now, I'm not going to say that she won't be at Sandringham, but at the moment, nothing has been confirmed. Nobody knows anything. It is literally just a rumour, kind of like just a guess, really. So where did the rumour start from? Well, it started in the Sunday Express, and then it was literally regurgitated everywhere as if it was the gospel, which often happens. Someone starts a story, it's a rumour, not based on any truth whatsoever, and then literally it gets regurgitated everywhere because nobody has the foresight to just think reasonably and check facts. So why do I think this? Well, there's been no official confirmation, and there won't be. They are not going to confirm this. it is basically just guesswork. However, it is a good guess because the likelihood is that she probably will be invited to Sandringham, but we don't know that. So we are literally just going to have to wait and see if on Christmas morning Doria is there with the royals going to church, or even if we see her in the country before then, we will have much of a better indication of that. So why do I think that it's a good guess that Meagan's mom will be invited? Well, she didn't spend Christmas last year with her mom. She was at Sandringham. So I don't really think she'll want to spend 2 years away from mom at Christmas. Also, she's pregnant, which means that she may not want to do so much long haul kind of travel. And it's the first year that she got married. So, of course, being a member of the royal family, a new member of the royal family, it would be good for her to spend that first Christmas at Sandringham with the royals. Now, there have been some unfair, in my opinion, comparisons between Katherine and the Middletons and Meagan and Doria. People are saying that it's unprecedented that Doria has been invited and that kind of thing. Well, the reason why the Middletons haven't stayed at Sandringham is basically because William and Katherine tend to spend alternate Christmases, either with the royals or with the Middletons. So this year, William and Katherine may not be at Sandringham. They may be spending Christmas with the Middletons. But also, when the Middletons are visiting Sandringham, they stay with Katherine and William and the kids at Anmer Hall, which is William and Katherine's home. So there is no need for the Middletons to actually stay in Sandringham itself. So that's why I think it's kind of unfair comparisons. Also, space is limited at Sandringham. It looks massive, but once it's full of staff and the extended family, blah, 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 space is limited. Rooms, accommodation is very limited. So that's also why the Middletons would stay with William and Katherine. So we don't know if the Middletons are at their own home and William and Katherine are going to visit them for Christmas or not. We literally do not know. So the options for Harry and Meagan are that they may do what they did last year, go to Sandringham and Doria stays in America. The second option, that Doria has been invited, but we might not know that yet, which we will only find out closer to the time if we see her. And the third option, which I don't think, it's been bandied around, but I don't think it's likely, is that Meagan and Harry may spend Christmas with Doria in America. I don't think that's going to happen at all, but nevertheless, it is an option. Things can be done differently, but I really don't think so. So we'll only find out kind of when, I suppose, we see all the royals on Christmas Day going for church. So that's my conclusion. We will have to wait and see. That little bit of fake news. So don't believe everything that you see. Oh, we have a super chat donation while I've been talking. It's from Tiffany. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for your very kind donation via super chat. It really does help the channel. Who says, where can we watch the Remembrance event at the Royal Albert Hall? I think is it broadcast on BBC? I think. Try BBC. They're online. I don't know if it's available for other countries, but you'll probably be able to find clips of it on the internet, or maybe it's broadcast online as well. Check. So I'm not entirely sure for that one. Okay, let's have a look. Sorry if I've missed any questions. I literally can't answer all of them, but if it really was important, type again. Janice says, hi Elliot, did you get your package? Oh, I've not had any new packages this week. So if it's the one that I've still got to film, which I don't think it is that one, then no, I haven't received any packages yet. Hello to Lady from Australia. Maria Montes says, nice to see you again. Nice to hear from you. Elegna says, thinking about all those that give their lives for us. Yes, this is a really good occasion to do that. Tracy McCain says, we are celebrating Veterans Day over here in the US. Well, I'm sending my thoughts to you for your Veterans Day. Okay, let's have a little look down some of the comments. Lots more people saying hi. Massa says 203 watching, drink. Okay, I do have my drink. I have water again this week. Ingrid's laughing at my opera glasses. And Kiki has made another chat. Ingrid says, I'm sure Doria will be invited. Not a rumour, it's true. Well, we don't know. I've just been kind of through all of that. Just a rumour. It's most likely. It's a good guess, but we don't know for sure. Marion says if she's invited, the Middletons should be too. Like I said, sometimes they like to spend Christmas in their own home, and when they do come to Sandringham, they stay with Katherine and William. Massa says, you look great. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you so much. I do actually have a bit of earache this week. Okay, I seem to have an ailment every week. No, I used a cotton bud, and I know I shouldn't, and I kind of poked a little bit too hard, and I do have a bit of earache now. Ken says, do I think the Queen will issue letters patent making the Duke and Duchesses of Sussex's children HRH from birth? Oh, okay. Well, we know the options. She could issue letters patent to make them HRH and Prince and Princess. But we also know that when Prince Charles becomes king, they will automatically be elevated to HRH and Prince and Princess. And if the rumours are to be believed that Harry and Meghan kind of want them to have as much as a normal childhood as possible, they may decide that they are perfectly happy with just Lord and Lady. So personally, I don't think the Queen will intervene this time. I think she will just let everything play out as it would naturally, but we can't discount the fact that she may issue letters patent. But the Sussex children will get what is rightfully theirs eventually, which is why I don't think the Queen will intervene, because there's no need to. Yes, the Middletons have been invited. We have seen them walking to church before. Where's my tea? Well, because I'm still getting over all my bits and bobs, I'm on water. I'm still on water. Christine says maybe Sarah Ferguson will be invited to Sandringham this year. Well, she gave an interview and she revealed a few things which I will talk about in a little while. So we'll get to that. We'll get to Sarah. Ingrid says Doria will be the royal yoga teacher. Maybe she could teach the Queen some moves. I would love to see the Queen in the downward dog. The first Mrs. R says, please don't forget to give this stream a thumbs up. Yes, please do. Big, massive thumbs up. And yes, if you want to contribute, I'm reading a comment here, you can use the super chat button. It's in the lower left. If it's allowed in your country, well, there you go. If you do want to support the channel, kind of like giving tips, you can use the super chat function to do that. Tracy says, I don't take anything for fact until I have listened to your words of wisdom. Well, thank you so much. Elena says, what's the story about the emerald tiara? Is it fake news? Well, I spy a little bit more fake news. Do you? Yes. That story got me mad. I posted something in my community section because of it. Fake news. Yes, so the story goes that Meagan was demanding when she met the Queen, and she demanded that she had this emerald tiara, which they never specified which emerald tiara. Now, the Queen does have, loads of tiaras, we know that, but the most notable emerald one that she has is the Vladimir tiara when it's hung with the Cambridge emeralds. And also, we know that Princess Eugenie wore a bandeau tiara that had emeralds in it. So I think someone is trying to cause a little bit of trouble, possibly hinting that Meagan was after Eugenie's tiara. And the story goes that the Queen was angry with Meagan and she prevented her from having the tiara that she wanted. What a complete load of nonsense. I really do despair sometimes. I really do. Harry and Meghan, in their own words, said that there were 3 people there choosing the tiaras: Meghan, Harry, and the Queen. There was a predetermined selection laid out. So it wasn't literally all of the tiaras in the Queen's collection. There was so many that were set aside that were considered reasonable for Meghan, for the style of dress and blah blah blah. So all of them together, they said this. They instantly, as soon as they saw Queen Mary's diamond bandeau, which is the tiara that Meghan did wear at the wedding, they all agreed that that would be the perfect tiara. It was simple, it was elegant, it went with the dress. Meghan was very, very happy that she had the choice of that tiara. The Queen endorsed it. She loved the idea too. And also Harry was very, very happy with the choice of tiara. So there is no truth whatsoever in any of that rumour. And also, leading on from that, a little bit more, I spy a little bit more fake news. All these rumours going around that Harry and Meghan are being bratish towards their staff and being too demanding, blah, blah, blah. It's just totally not true. Why would it? And Harry apparently said, Meghan can have whatever she wants. Whatever Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Okay, I can imagine him possibly saying something like that in jest. You know, perhaps saying, whatever Meghan wants, Meghan gets. You know, future wife. I don't want to refuse the wife anything. But of course, we don't know if that's true. We don't know whether he said those words or not. The author that put this in a book, I don't think they even know what was said in private. We do know that one of Meghan's personal assistants is leaving. Again, they've made a massive big thing about it. Is it because Meghan's being cruel? Is it because they're being too demanding? No, it's just natural wastage. We know that Katherine and William lost an aide recently because she was getting married, and obviously she knows that it is a demanding job, and it's a very fulfilling job, but it takes a lot of your time. So you can't raise a family and you can't get married, for example, and carry on and do that job. Well, you can, but it means that maybe your marriage, maybe having a family would be compromised. So William and Catherine's aide decided that when she was going to get married, that she would leave. We don't know the circumstances of Meghan's personal assistant who has left. Could it be that maybe she's getting married? I don't know. There could be 1,000,001 reasons as to why she's left the job after 6 months. Was it even a permanent post? Was it a temporary post? Was it just to see Meghan through until she gets a different member of staff? We don't know. So for that, just don't listen to these rumours flying around. I'm sure there'll be so many stories. Celeste says Christmas is for family, and irrespective if they are royalty, they are still mere mortals. And they are indeed. And yes, I agree. It is most definitely for family. Mary says rumour is also that Meghan and Harry and the Queen had words concerning the wedding tiara. Well, I think I've just discussed that. The only words they had were words of agreement and words of happiness and joy. Why don't people report that? England says, how is England these days? Divided. And okay, obviously people know we're going through a Brexit and there's all that still going on, making everyone's head hurt. I wish it would just hurry up and be done, so that everyone can just get back to normal. In terms of the general feeling in Britain, quite good. I think everyone's looking forward to Christmas. We're being ramped up with all the Christmas adverts on TV. They've all started. So yes, I'm looking forward. I think everyone's looking forward to a really good Christmas. Mimi says, you love my poppies. Thank you so much. I do too. Martin says, it was awesome seeing Katherine at the Royal Festival of Remembrance on BBC One. You wish people would stop having a go at Katherine's family, as do we all. And I don't think we're ever going to stop the endless comparisons between Katherine and Meagan. Oh, if I could, I would. I'd ban it. I really would. Sanju says, did the Queen allow Meagan to borrow the green stuff? That was completely fake news. Meagan didn't want the emerald tiara. Would an emerald tiara have gone with her simple, simplistic dress? No. I mean, that just says everything, doesn't it? Celeste says, what will you chat about when there are no more royals? I hate to break it to you, but they ain't going anywhere. David Penner says, is there any truth that Harry and the Queen had a conversation about... Oh, no. I've just addressed that, and no, no, no. Fake, fake, fake. And I've spoken about the assistant thing. Liza Dye says, if Doria does go to Sandringham, will she walk to the church with the family when the public greets them? I think so. I can't see why not. I mean, I can't see that they'll all get dressed up for Christmas and on Christmas morning say, no, Doria, you're staying behind. No, they wouldn't do that. Of course, you know, we've seen how Prince Charles, for example, has treated Doria. You know, he led her into when they were signing the register. There was a lot of really friendly, happy touch going on. I think they love Doria, and there is no way they would leave her behind like some sort of animal. You know, you're not coming to church with us. I don't think so. Of course, if she is there, we will see her at church at Sandringham, definitely. Mimi says, you look slim and trim. Thank you. I've actually lost a stone in weight since I was ill. Ugh. Running late, I will promise to put my P.O. box address in some kind of link, or I'll post it in the community section or somewhere. Judith says, hi, Elliot. Greetings from Barbados. Hello to Judith. Say hello to my parents. They're still in Barbados. They are actually in Barbados. Say hello to them. If you see them on a beach somewhere, say hi. Mrs. VSN says, the current display of the royal wedding outfits in the narrative, Harry discusses how they picked out the tiara together with the Queen. The story of Meagan pitching a fit is fake news. Exactly. We know the true story, so why they made up a fake one, I have no idea. Natalie says, if I were Meagan, I would never let my mum around the royal family after courtiers talked back about Meagan to tabloids about the tiara. I don't think courtiers did. I think it was just made up. Whenever anyone says a royal insider, a royal source, blah, 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 that is code. That is a code word for we made it up. Sorry to have to break it. Ingrid says, I seem to have an ailment every week. I do seem to have an ailment every week, and I love complaining about it, which is also very British. Sandra says, did Duchess Meagan's private secretary Melissa quit after 6 months? Yes, it appears that she has, but we don't know why. Like I said earlier in this chat, it could be for 1,000,001 reasons. It could be for personal reasons. It could be that the job was never a long-term permanent job anyway. It could have just been a transition period job until Meagan was able to choose somebody for the longer term. We really don't know. And the fact is, we aren't going to know. So, you know, they aren't going to make this kind of stuff public. So anything else is literally just speculation, unless she actually comes out and does an interview and says, well, I left because of this reason or that reason. We literally aren't going to know. Celeste says, go and get an immune booster for my ailments. I think I do need an immune booster. It's called a cruise. I think I need to go on a cruise to boost my immune system. A nice holiday. That's what I need. Somewhere in the sun. Maybe a Caribbean cruise. The First Missar says, we sort of celebrate veterans twice a day. Not veterans twice a day. Veterans twice. Veterans Day, which is today, is for all current and former soldiers. The end of May, we celebrate Memorial Day, which is for those who have died. I mean, we have so many different commemorative events in the UK. It is kind of endless. But like I say, the main one to remember the war dead is Remembrance Sunday, which is tomorrow. Maya J says, you are wearing the brooch. It looks brilliant. It does indeed. Thank you. It does. And I've been saving it for this occasion. In fact, I think I've worn this one twice. for 2 previous live chats around Remembrance Day. And this, of course, will be added to my repertoire of poppy badges. So thank you so much. Seaside Mum says, did everyone see the new stamps? Yes, I made a video on it, so please go and check out my video, and you can see the 6 commemorative stamps to mark Prince Charles's 70th birthday that were released by the Royal Mail, and you can actually buy them. And I don't think there's any cap on who can buy them. I think you can probably buy them if you live overseas. So if you go to the Royal Family Twitter, there is, I think, a link onto how you can buy them. But I would advise buying them fairly early because they will probably sell out. Oh, yes, Mary, those rumours were from the biography about Prince Charles for his 70th birthday. But I still don't believe them. I mean, if it sounds ludicrous, it probably is. I agree, Christine. I think someone did start the Tiara story because of what Eugenie wore. And, you know, people can make an easy link to it and try and pitch Meagan against Eugenie, and there'd be this kind of feud going on. Really? Yeah. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Vicky P says the stamps are very nice. They are indeed. And I think I've spoken about the PA. Sonia says there's a huge difference between Megan's mum and the Middleton family. The Middletons live in the same country as her daughter and have access to William and Catherine's house. And of course, Megan's only really got her mum. I would agree. I think it's probably definitely likely that she will be invited. But like I say, we don't know for sure. It is just a really good guess on part of the press. It's a likely situation, but that doesn't mean it's true until we see it for ourselves. Mimi says Harry looks so much like his grandpa today, handsome. He does indeed. He definitely looks like the Duke of Edinburgh. But also, I did notice, and I've actually got 2 pages of notes for a special live chat, which I'm going to hopefully do in the coming days. I know I said I was going to do it earlier, but I do want to do a really special episode where I can really talk about and review the latest Prince Charles birthday documentary, which was out a couple of days ago now. And I have to say, I'll do a little brief summary. I really enjoyed it. I think it was really good. And going back to looking like his grandfather, there was a moment in it where Harry's talking to camera and he smiles. He laughs, kind of laughs and smiles. And you could so see Diana. He did exactly the same kind of pursed-lipped. I can't do it, but he did this kind of pursed-lipped kind of smile after he'd done a laugh. This kind of coy smile, and he looked so much like Diana. It was unbelievable. So facial expressions, I think Harry definitely resembles his mother totally. But I will do a special summary of that Charles documentary, which I thought was brilliant. If you haven't seen it, do go and watch it, so that when I do my live pop-up chat, you'll know what I'm talking about. It is really worth a viewing. It really is. Chandra says, I'm finally joining in. So excited. Wow, I'm excited to have you too. Mary says, I just heard Meghan Markle's PA just resigned. I believe she did, but like I say, I've been through that one. We don't know why. Wendy says the new book about Charles sounds like horrid, sneaky gossip designed to sell books. The media are always going to pick up on certain elements of books, and authors are always going to put in things which they think are going to get picked up on to get publicity for the book. Maybe that was one of those things. Book Princess says, I agree, Harry becomes more and more like his grandfather, a lot of dignity and military behaviour, and his special sense of humour. I would agree there. And no, I don't think Megan was demanding when she met the Queen. Definitely not. Would you be demanding to the Queen? To the Tower! The Queen sends Megan to the Tower. don't pass go and don't collect £200. No, it's ludicrous. It really, really is. Marie D says, love that colour on you. The poppy brooches are a really nice touch. Very glamorous. Thank you so, so much. And yes, Rhonda, it is very sad that the fake news and rumours are starting with the newspapers and lots of online media too, and on Twitter. Twitter is toxic. Twitter is very toxic. Hello to Scott Goff. I agree, this is VSN. You know, people do leave jobs. It's normal. And like I say, just because someone's left a job doesn't mean that it's for a negative reason. It could just be something really, really simple and honest. And it could be for a good reason. It could be positive. It could be that she's going to start a family. You know, it could be something good. Why does it have to be something bad? Ingrid says, I can't imagine the turmoil of being a royal. Well, if you've got to deal with fake news media, it would be a nightmare. Hello to Dee Dee. Mary says, according to the biography author, also says that it was Meagan who decided to announce the news to the family at the wedding. This book sounds so gossipy. It's not something that I particularly wish to read. Live, Love and Laugh says, I saw one post this week about the tiara. You didn't like it as well. And you don't see how the Queen would put out a tiara she does not intend anyone to wear. Exactly. There was a selection which was thought to be suitable for Meagan and the dress. Maybe even Meagan may have indicated what style of tiara she wanted. I mean, you know, she could have said, well, I don't want anything that's too tall. I'm not keen on something that's, you know, particularly spiky, or, you know, I don't want something that's too fussy. And, you know, the Queen, or, you know, the Queen's personal assistants could have come up with a really lovely selection of tiaras, you know, which were suitable to what Meagan thought would go with the dress. And they were very, very happy with the conclusion, what they came to. It was a collaborative effort. It really was. Ubernet says, will Katherine and William attend Prince Charles's 70th birthday? Yes, I presume so. But we will not get to see what's inside, other than if they take some photos to release officially. There'll be no cameras inside his birthday party. We will only see the arrivals and departures by car, paparazzi photographs taken through the windscreens. We really won't get to see anything unless they release any official photographs, which they may release one or two. Martin Gahan says, I read this about the cat fight between the Queen and Meagan. Said this last week, it's all made up by the media. There is no royal fights. Exactly. I do despair sometimes. I really do. Dee Dee says, hello, Elliot and fellow royal geeks. I just finished watching the Remembrance ceremony. I recorded it so that I could watch uninterrupted. Arnold says, I thought the story on Meagan was that she couldn't stop hugging the staff. I would imagine if she couldn't stop hugging them, they couldn't get any work done. Really. The staff aren't like rag dolls. You can't just go around hugging them willy-nilly. I spy fake news. I think I really do spy some fake news. Yes. These rumours this week, my goodness. Okay, Leslie Lane Fenton says, I thought the tiara suited Meagan as it was a bit more delicate than, say, the Spencer tiara that everyone was looking for. It was never going to be the Spencer tiara because she's not a Spencer bride. I said that before the event, and I'll say it again. And yes, I agree. It suited her personal look, it flattered her, and it suited the dress too. Taverna says, it's not suspicious that she quit. She might have used the position to get a better one. Exactly. It could just be a natural progression. It could be something good for her. Janice says, and the Queen wore the brooch to the bandeau tiara to Harry and Meghan's wedding and to the Remembrance programme this evening. I haven't seen what she was wearing this evening, but she always wears lots and lots of poppies, so I can imagine it's lots of intensive poppy action going on. Seaside Mum says, can we drop and not talk about the Meghan and Harry wedding fake news, please, including dress, tiara, Christmas, etc., etc. I think we've discussed about it enough, and I'll try not to read any more comments of that nature. Book Princess says, did I hear the story about the bag that Fergie carried at her daughter's wedding? No, I didn't. Do enlighten me. Kiki says, did anyone see the see-through dress that Meagan wore? Do you think it's done on purpose or was it a true fashion faux pas? Actually, it was neither. It was an optical illusion. It was one of those things where when the light hits it, because it had stripes, and some of the stripes were sheer, and it also had where the stripes start and the sheer started lower. So when the light hit it, it looked like you could see the outline of her pants. And when I say pants, I mean underwear. We are in Britain, remember. We call them pants. You could see the outline of the pants, and then you could see the outline of the legs. But the way the dress was kind of folded, it looked like it was two separate legs. And it wasn't. It was just an optical illusion. It wasn't a see-through dress. So do go and find that photograph and have another look. Really zoom in, and you will see what I mean. It was one of those optical illusion dresses, and it was just very unfortunate that the optical illusion it looked like was legs and pants. But it wasn't. I can assure you, it was an optical illusion. Meagan was not flashing. And yes, Sanju, I agree with you about the fake news totally. Mrs. VSN says this means that there is an open assistant position. We can all apply. I don't be so sure. I can imagine that they probably would have filled the vacancy way before the assistant left. Didi says you're looking really good. Can tell you're feeling much better. Thank you so much. Apart from my ear, I've had a hot water bottle on it all afternoon. Rhonda says the woman that the Queen asked to assist Meagan was only supposed to stay for 6 months. If she is the assistant that is leaving, then possibly. Exactly. I'm not sure if it is that assistant or not, because I can't remember the name of the lady that the Queen sent. But the Queen did send somebody, and I did know that that was only temporary. Perhaps it is the same person, which is exactly what I said. It could just be that the position wasn't even intended to be longer than 6 months. So yes, that could be an option. It could be that. Jeff says Camilla's maiden name is Shand. It is indeed. And so is Diana's mother's married name or maiden name. Do you know if they are related? Well, it was Diana's mother's middle name was Shand Kidd, I do believe. But I'm not sure if they are of the same Shands. But there possibly is a link, but I'm not entirely sure. But there could possibly be a link. And I agree, the daily papers will print anything to get a story. Victoria says, I spied the Queen wearing a gorgeous wrap instead of her usual coat at the Remembrance ceremony. She looked wonderful. I will have to go and see after I finished. I've recorded it, so I will definitely go and see. And yes, people try and stir up trouble all the time. You think I'll be perfect for the job. Then how would I do this job? Talking to you guys. I'd miss doing this. I really would. Running Late says, when will the royals release their Christmas pictures? Well, when they start sending them out. And it's still a little bit too early to start sending them out. Oh, that reminds me, I've still got to send mine. But it will be soon. I would imagine we'll start getting the Christmas pictures soon. I have no idea why the book about Charles has got loads of Meagan gossip in it. Well, I do know, probably to sell books. I totally agree with what Arnold says. The dress wasn't meant to be see-through. All the things were lined up. Yes, it was everything played into it looking like legs and bottom, and it wasn't. Margaret says, will Meagan be allowed to continue to borrow that same tiara in the future? Well, good question. And then the answer is, again, we don't know until we see her next wearing a tiara. That tiara has not been worn for a very, very long time until Meagan wore it. So I can imagine that perhaps that will be one of the long-term loans. We know that Katherine hasn't worn her wedding tiara since, which was the Cartier Halo tiara, but I think Meagan's wedding tiara was more substantial, and I think it would suit a variety of different styles of dresses and events. So the likelihood is that we will probably see that again. Maybe it's on long-term loan for the future. Jamie is here. Hello to Jamie, our resident moderator. So now you've got to behave. Martin says, hope my ear gets better. Me too. I hate earache. It's horrible. Yes, please give me a big old thumbs up. Mrs. BSN says, I need a fake news scrolling on my screen so people will know the latest story is fake and you won't have to keep repeating. I do. I need like a ticker tape going across, a bit like in New York in Times Square when they have all things going on. And yes, it could be the same assistant that was supposed to stay for 6 months. Oh, Vicky P says, Harry said in the Charles documentary that he's obsessed with turning off the lights. Yes, because he's inadvertently taken on lots of Charles's values. And Charles found that rather funny, saying that they'd never admit it to me. They'd never admit that they turn off lights and do all these things. But I know from their friends, when I speak to their friends, they tell me things. And yes, Harry and William both admitted that they are OCD about turning off the lights and that kind of thing. And in fact, when I think Harry said that Meagan has like 6 lights going on in a room, and Harry's like, no, we need to turn them off because we don't need 6 lights, we just need 1. So I'd imagine Meagan's had a bit of a lesson in conservation since she's met Harry. But yes, lots of Charles's values has been passed down, but I don't think Charles was being like pushy with his values. He said in the documentary that, you know, he never forced his values onto the kids, but it was just there and they've kind of picked it up. I think the only thing he did do was he took them on a litter picking holiday. When they were on holiday, he took them for a day of litter picking, and they thought it was normal. They thought everyone just goes litter picking. But yes, the documentary was very charming, very funny. Camilla came across incredibly well, I have to say. I think lots of people have found a new love for Camilla since this documentary. People have told me, so I'm not talking a load of nonsense. So do go and watch that documentary. It was really, really good, I have to say. Live Love Enough says the Queen looked beautiful at the Remembrance this evening. Used to see her in coat and dresses. She had on this beautiful wrap. I am definitely going to go and see it as soon as I've finished. Mimi says Katherine looked stunning this week. She did indeed. Let's have a look. Angelique Lovely says, thank God for this royal channel. And thank you for watching. Oh, there was one more thing that I was... where's it gone? maybe I had it on this note. I can't remember. Did I or did I not? Oh, yes, the fake news. That's what I was thinking of. I spy a little bit more fake news. Let's take a little gander at this. So there's another story saying that William has been slammed, I tell you, for, what was the word? For making fun of OCD in the Charles documentary. Well, first of all, I saw absolutely no mockery or denigration of OCD. He mentioned that he's a little bit OCD about the light switches and that kind of thing. That's not making a mockery of it. Again, it's these fake news trying to be so overdramatic. Slammed. He's been slammed for turning off lights and talking about OCD. Yes, you can have OCD about turning off lights and that kind of thing. He was not making a mockery of OCD. Oh, these rumours and lies get me so riled up. Oh, Verna is in Jamaica. Hello to you in Jamaica. I wish I was in Jamaica. Get a bit of sun. I need some winter sun. Alegna says, enjoyed the documentary on Charles. I'm liking him now. I mean, I think the purpose of the documentary obviously was to celebrate his 70th birthday, but also they made a special conscious effort to clear up the issue of what kind of king he intends to be. That people have speculated, will he keep meddling once he's king? And the issue has never really been addressed. But he did categorically clear up the issue. He said, "Do you think I'm that stupid that I will meddle?" He says, no, he knows, as I've said before in lots of other chats, he knows that there is a difference between the role of sovereign and that of Prince of Wales. There is no clearly defined role of a Prince of Wales. You have to make of it what you will. And he has had a long time to make something of the role of Prince of Wales. William stipulated in the documentary that he will wish to continue it on in his own way. He wants to be his own man, so he will do it differently and he will follow his own interests. But Charles, as Prince of Wales, has followed his own interests, which is conservation, environment, architecture, young people, all those kinds of issues that we know Charles for. And Charles has pushed, and he's not been party political, but he has still been a little bit political as Prince of Wales. But he categorically said that he knows he will have to operate within the constitutional parameters when he is sovereign. He said there is no room for two sovereigns. There is only room for one. And when he is sovereign, he will not be able to behave and act in the same way that he does as Prince of Wales. He knows that. He's cleared it up completely. But he will still have convening power when he, meets the Prime Minister, blah, blah, blah. He can discuss matters, and he can warn, he can offer advice on different things. He has the convening power, which I'm sure he will use. He will speak to the Prime Minister of the day about this issue and that issue, and he will also be able to kind of show which way he's thinking by which patronages he takes on as sovereign, which I'm sure some of his patronages will change. So, for example, if he supports, I don't know, a climate change patronage, then we know that obviously he's still pushing the climate change agenda and those issues. But also the documentary kind of cleared up that what he's been saying since the 70s was actually true and correct. He spoke about plastics, for example, back in the 70s, and William and Harry were watching the speech, and they were saying, well, that's such a current issue now, but he was saying it back in the 70s. So the documentary was really, really good. And like I say, he knows that things will change once he is king. Oh, focus. I've gone really blurry. Okay, I'm back. Maya J says, it depends. The Queen might have another tiara that Meagan would suit different situations and outfits. It could be. We will have to wait and see. Kiki says, gosh, was I sucked into that story? I thought it was odd they would let that happen. I think you're talking about the PA quitting. Dee Dee says, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are my favourite royals, but think it's wrong to allow Doria to walk to church with the royals if Katherine's family or any of the other in-laws were not. They have done before. It will just fuel the media room. Well, they have done before. They have walked. But like I say, not every year do the Middletons stay at Anmer Hall with William and Katherine. Sometimes they stay at their own home, and William and Katherine don't go to Sandringham. They will. So it could be a year. This could be the year when William and Katherine don't go to Sandringham. We don't know. We'll have to wait. Mel Thorne says, hi, Elliot and everyone. So glad to catch this live. Meanwhile, I said something last time regarding Prince William becoming the Prince of Wales. I thought he automatically becomes. No, it has to be conferred on him. So the monarch, Prince Charles, would have to make him the Prince of Wales. What he does automatically get once he becomes the heir apparent to the throne is he gets the Duchy of Cornwall, the Dukedom of Cornwall. So he will be the Duke of Cornwall, and he will have all of the income that the Dukedom of Cornwall creates to be able to pay for his family. So Prince Charles will not have the Duchy of Cornwall once he becomes sovereign, because he will get the Duchy of Lancaster when he becomes sovereign. But the Prince of Wales title is not automatic. It has to be conferred. I'm sure it will be. But until it's conferred on him, he will be still the Duke of Cambridge and the Duke of Cornwall. And Katherine will not be the Princess of Wales until Prince William is made the Prince of Wales. China Michelle says the horrible tabloids are treating Meagan just like they did Princess Diana. Their only intention is to destroy Harry and Meghan. They just want column inches. They just want to sell papers, and they know that negative news gets clicks, gets views. So my advice would be, if you see something that looks so negative that it's unlikely to be true, don't click on it, don't feed it. Don't feed those media fake news. Janice says Meghan's secretaries are named Amy and Sam, not Melissa. It could be a different one. I haven't looked into it that deeply, so I'll have to go away and have a little look at that one. 328 in the chat room, apparently. Oh no, 333, I think, right now at the moment. So hello to everyone. Jamie says, I think I'll loan Her Majesty some face spray to keep her refreshed. The opinion. Oh, let me just get something. Okay. I'm back, kind of. Am I back? I'm back. I just wanted to get something and show you. I had it on my little side table, and I wasn't going to show you, but I think I will anyway. So I've ordered some face sprays off the internet. I forgot the make. What are they? Some kind of New York brand. I forgot. But they are face sprays. One in rose water and one in lavender, I think, or something like that. But they haven't come yet because they've got to come all the way from America. So in the meantime, I popped into, we have a chain of like it just sells like bath and beauty products. It's called The Body Shop, and they're well known for not testing on animals. They are anti-animal cruelty, blah blah blah. And I thought, I want to try a face spray before these ones come because I can't wait. So I bought this, and it's the Body Shop Rose Dewy Glow. You probably can't see because the light is a bit bright, but it's a face spray. And I absolutely love it. I've been spraying my face with spray. And it smells like rose. In fact, someone said it smells like Turkish delight. So do I have a lovely dewy glow? It's lovely. And I have to say, I really do love it. Non-sponsored, but I just thought I'd show you what I'm using. And also, I get incredibly dry hands, really dry hands in the winter. And I had a little bit of kind of eczema and kind of red scaly skin on my hand, right in between my little finger and this finger. And I went into the Body Shop and I said, have you got anything for really sensitive skin that's good for dry skin? And they recommended this, and it was hemp. It's like a hemp hand moisturizer, and it is so good. It cleared up my red scaly skin within an hour. It was really, really good. So if you want a good hand moisturizer, this is called Hemp Hand Protector Creme Protectrice Men's. A little bit of French there, I think, or Ma, as it could be. But it's just really, really good stuff. So there you go. I just thought I'd pop and show you and take the opportunity to give myself a little bit of a face mist and a spritz. And I can't wait for my other one, the proper ones I ordered, to get here as well. Let's have a look. Go down some comments here. Matla says, I was thinking about this the other day. Why was Piers Morgan meeting with Meagan in England in the first place like a couple of years ago? I didn't think she was that famous yet. Well, it was before she met Harry, I do believe. And I think he was talking about an issue. Was it even Suits? It could have even been Suits. But yes, he was. He did have a kind of like a meeting with her. And yeah, I think it was about Suits, actually. But I will check that out for you. Sam says, I saw the documentary Prince on an Air. It was very good. And you said it was pretty good. I liked the opening scene very much. I have been aware of his concern for Mother Nature, and I share a lot of his concerns. Wasn't it fabulous with the chickens? Gobble, gobble. No, the turkey. Gobble, 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 gobble. He was going. It was really, really good. And his love of animals came through, and rare breeds and all that kind of thing. Netanel, hope I've said that correctly, says, hello, Elliot, and a pleasant evening from Israel. I would like to compliment you on the beautiful garment you're wearing. Thank you so, so much. I wish I could see what everyone else is wearing. Christine says, I hope we see the Charles documentary in the US. It could even be on YouTube somewhere, possibly. Not my channel because of copyright, but yes, if you look hard enough, perhaps you can find it somewhere. It's definitely worth finding. Sonia says, why does Camilla seem to leave Charles and head home midway through their tours? Second time I've noticed she has left a tour. Seems odd that she would have other engagements booked during a tour. She's not a very good traveller. She doesn't like long haul flights. She doesn't like flying in general. I think she gets a bit sick, and I think the rigors of a tour does tire her out. And one of the things that she said in the documentary was that she wished that her husband, Charles, would pace himself. And I think that's what she's doing for herself. She said Charles will never pace himself, but I think she has taken her own advice, and I think she's pacing herself. And also, you know, if you hate traveling so much, and Charles was going on to travel a little bit further, I know it's only a day, but I think she wanted to just get back and have a little bit of rest, maybe see the grandkids and whatever. But I think she is pacing herself a lot more than what Charles is. I think Charles is a workaholic. That came through from the documentary. He eats really, really late. He falls asleep at his desk with notepaper stuck to his face when he gets up. He is a workaholic. He gets up and works and works and works and works and works until he literally drops at his desk. Camilla, I think, is a little bit more sensible, and I think she knows that she needs to pace herself. And I think that's exactly what she's doing. She's pacing herself, and I think that is sensible. Because as we age, we do need to do that. I mean, not stop completely, but pace yourself. I think that's a good thing to remember. So I'm going to take that from Camilla, and even at my age, I'm going to pace myself. Sweet Serenity says, Harry does resemble Philip. He does indeed. Mary says, I watched a biography on Camilla and found it very informative. My opinion on her changed so much, and I realised she doesn't get the positive media attention that other roles do. She is very understated. She doesn't make a big noise. She doesn't make a big fuss. She just gets on with it. And actually, she doesn't court media attention one bit. She really doesn't mind whether people are taking photographs or videos or not. She just gets on with what she gets on with. And yes, I think she is a little bit unsung. Jamie says, tomorrow, lest us forget those who gave all. When you go home, tell them of us and say that you're for your tomorrow, we gave our today. Yes, Remembrance Sunday tomorrow. So take a time, take a minute's silence wherever you are to remember those that lost their lives for your country, whichever country it is. Ingrid says, I love Camilla. She's a great woman and very stylish. I love her hats. I've made no secret of that. I would love to try on some of her hats. Monroe says, hello, I cannot stay, but hello, and thank you as always for your show. Hello. Sweet Serenity says, Harry has a lot of Diana in his features and expressions. Miss her so much. Stacey loves my chats, thank you. Jamie says, rat shan't be used as an adjective in a sentence about Her Majesty. Who was using rat? Mary says, if Harry looks that much like Prince Philip, I would think that puts one rumour to rest for good. The rumour about James Hewitt. I think that is well and truly dead. Only some unscrupulous people may drag that one up. Running Late says, Harry loves to say my wife on Prince Charles' documentary. He did. He said, he was talking to William and he said, well, my wife, I don't know about your wife, but my wife leaves all the lights on. So yes, he does say that. I think he likes saying that. Finally, he can say it. Hurrah! Margaret says, will the palace announce if Meagan's carrying twins? No. No, 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 no. We will have to wait until baby or babies are born. Barbara Long says the personal assistant was part of the William and Harry staff. They share staff. I think it was Meagan's personal assistant, but again, we don't know the reasons why. Live, Love and Laugh says, I noticed looking way back to Diana, Fergie and Sophie, the British press kind of target the women who entered into the royal family. They do. And the royal family in general, when it comes to fabricating stories, it sells papers and gets clicks. Seaside Mom says, working for the royals does not pay well and is demanding, I'm sure. It is not all pickles and ice cream. I would agree. Sweet Serenity loves Meagan's style. Super Craig Jack says Meagan had to announce pregnancy before she arrived in Australia. Besides showing the baby bump, she was unable to drink alcohol, and the world would have known. Exactly. She had a limited period of time to announce the baby in between Eugenie's wedding and going on the tour. And I think she chose the perfect moment to do it. Mary says social media is terribly toxic. People type things that I'm not sure they would say in person. I would agree. Midnight Hazel says, I made a decision last week to only watch my channel about the royals. All the rest of it is CRAP, is what you put. Great way to simplify and lower stress from gossip, gossip, gossip. Yay for me. Thank you for making that decision. And like I say, if you don't watch all the fake stuff, it cuts a little bit off what feeds them. Okay, I'm going to skip a few comments because I want to get down slightly. Well, Margaret says, will the palace announce whether she's carrying twins? No. And no, they won't reveal the sex of the baby either. Ken, oh, what tea am I drinking? Water, I'm afraid, this week. Ken says, is there any rule of thumb for how many poppies female members of the royal family wear? Well, the Queen often wears a cluster. Katherine has worn a cluster before as well. It's just kind of to make a bit of an impact, really. And they often wear them with brooches or that kind of thing. But I don't think there is a set amount. First Miss R says, Fergie's purse was the bag her late mother carried at her wedding in 1986. I didn't know that. I've learned something. I hadn't heard that story. Was it in the interview? It may have been in the interview because I kind of read the interview slightly. Mrs. VSN says, thank you for touching on all the fake news involving the Duchess of Sussex. You are more than welcome. When will Meagan go on maternity leave? Well, if the baby's due April, March, maybe the beginning of March. The beginning of March, maybe. But again, we don't know exactly. But perhaps I'm thinking maybe the beginning of March. Kiki says, thanks. I really fell for the see-through dress pic. It was very deceptive, and if you didn't know that it was an optical illusion, you would have fell for it because it did look like a pair of legs and a bottom, but it wasn't. Favored G says Meagan's personal assistant was assigned to her for 6 months. So you'd like people to stop bashing Duchess Meagan, thank you. Again, we don't know exactly how long she was expected to stay or whatever. It could have been a different assistant, but I don't think it's anything sinister. I think it's probably just natural progression, natural staff turnover. Book Princess says, inside the bag, I think we're talking about Fergie's bag, there were invitations to Andrea's and her wedding with a green line around. Therefore, Fergie wore the green at Eugenie's wedding. Ah, well, there we go. But I also think the green was to match the tiara. And yes, beware of royal insiders. And Jamie says, so much fake news. There is indeed. Vicky P says, make sure to look at the Queen's brooch from tonight. It's the same one she wore at Harry's wedding. I will love to look. I will definitely look as soon as I go offline. Seaside Mom says, please stop poking things. Don't poke your teeth and ears. It isn't doing you any good. Every time I poke something, I get ill. It's true. Since your mother is away, I will give you a mother directive. I did say earlier in a private conversation that I do need to stop poking things. You are correct. Margaret says, the reason Katherine has not worn the same wedding tiara is because the Queen loaned it to Cartier for an exhibit that went around the world. I don't doubt that is true, but I would imagine it's probably back now after all those years. But so I just think that isn't necessarily a suitable tiara for a state occasion. And of course, we know that that Katherine has on long-term loan the Cambridge Lovers Knot tiara and also the palm leaf tiara as well, which she kind of wears almost, intertwiningly, sort of one after the other. No, it wasn't a see-through dress, and I think it fooled lots of people. Yes, Seaside Mum, find the Charles documentary. It is really, really good. Lisa Dye says, can you please explain the royal surnames? Harry and William's last name was Wales as children, and when they received their dukedom, does it change from Wales to Cambridge or Sussex? If you are the child of someone who has a title, then your surname can take on that title. So the royals don't generally have a surname. We know Mountbatten Windsor is for some descendants of the Queen, but if you are titled, you don't have necessarily a surname. So Charles, as Prince of Wales, meant that his children were Prince William of Wales, or Prince Harry of Wales, or Prince Henry, actually, of Wales. When they married and they got their own dukedoms, they dropped the of Wales and they became of Cambridge, which is why now William's children are Prince George of Cambridge, Princess Charlotte of Cambridge, Prince Louis of Cambridge. And that's it. When they were in the army, they did use Wales as their surname. So William Wales, Harry Wales. But technically, it's Prince William, Prince Harry of Wales. And now it's of Cambridge or of Sussex. Am I going to see the wedding outfits? I'd love to. Of course, if I am in London, I will go and see them. Verna says, nothing smaller than your elbow should be placed in your ear. I am sticking nothing else in my ear ever again. Oh yes, Danica says, I love seeing Camilla dancing in that beautiful pink ball gown. Yes, it's part of my notes. Charles and Camilla had such a successful royal tour of Africa where they visited the Gambia, Nigeria, and Ghana. And there was one moment where they were dancing, and I think a lot of people were surprised about Camilla and Charles's dance skills, possibly in particular Camilla. But yes, she's a fantastic dancer, and she was twirling around and all that kind of thing. And Charles got a very special in Nigeria, a very special dance. He got a bit of mapuka dancing. And if you don't know what mapuka dancing is, it's when there's lots of bottom wiggling, lots of bottom shaking, and lots of lower half gyrations, shall we say. And he looked like he was thoroughly enjoying it. And the lady that was doing the mapuka dance, it's a bit like twerking, I suppose, or a bit like the dutty wine, as some people may know it as. So yes, these kind of dance styles kind of originated from Africa. And they are very fun. I have to say, they are very, very fun. And the lady that was doing it looked like she was having a fantastic time, and she was very good. She was doing all the lower half gyrations. And Charles looked like, if he wasn't on camera, he looked like he wanted to join in and do a bit of wiggling, shall we say. So he looked like he was having such fun, and fun was had by all. Everyone was laughing. So if you haven't seen that bit of the video, go and check out the mapuka dancing, because it was really, really good, I have to say. Very entertaining. And yes, Harry and William are not separating. They are still going to be part of the Royal Foundation. And as far as I'm aware, their staff are not separating either. It wouldn't make any sense to split and have two sets of staff at the same palace when you don't need to. And very expensive to do that as well. So yes, fake news. Mary says, can you imagine having to constantly worry about everything you say, how it will be taken? It could make you crazy. I think the best thing is just to ignore it. I think that's what I think they do. They must do to get through it all, is to just ignore all the drama. And yes, Charles is a sharp dresser. I would agree there. Jamie says Charles has had more than enough time to plan his future job. He has indeed, the longest serving Prince of Wales and heir to the throne in British history. Farah says, good morning from Bandung in Indonesia. Nice to see your video again. Hello to you, wherever you are in the world. I think the documentary is on YouTube. Well, it was the last time I checked. I've got it recorded on my TV, but do a search for it, and I'm sure it will come up. Do Camilla and Fergie get along? I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. There's no evidence to suggest that they wouldn't get on. Kiki says, I think Charles is looking more and more like the Duke of Windsor the older he gets. Yes, I do actually. There is a very strong similarity. Put two photos side by side, and actually it is quite striking. Live, Love and Laugh is talking about the Harry and William separation. I think it was going on about the household splitting and them having two separate sets of staff. That's not going to happen because they live in the same complex of palace. It would be terribly expensive to go from having one set of everything to two. So I can't see that happening, and I really don't think there's any truth in it. And there's been no official confirmation of that. The only time that it would make sense to split everything is if one of them were going to move away from the actual location of where the offices are based, which there's no indication of that either. So it's no big deal. And until we see any proof of it, fake news. Jamie says, I'm 20 minutes behind on the comments. I'm sorry, I'm trying to work through. First Mrs. R says, I would think it likely that Cambridges will go to Catherine's parents since there are two new babies in the family. It could happen. This could be one of the years where they do not spend it at Sandringham, but we'll have to wait and see. No, Charles cannot give the Prince of Wales to Harry. Can only be offered to the heir to the throne. Do I think the Queen will retire for Charles to become king? And again, there was that rumour that she may decide to effectively retire at 95, but not give up being sovereign. There's a good chance that could happen. Again, that's not been confirmed. But if the Queen does decide that at age 95, she would like to take a bit of a break, a bit of retirement, and join her husband, Prince Philip, which I'm sure nobody would deny her the right to do that. And if she would like to kind of invoke a regency period where Charles would become all but in name king, he would be Prince Regent, then that could likely happen. However, as I said last week, and I discussed it at length in last week's chat, there are only 3 criteria currently that allows for a regency, and old age is not one of them. The Queen is of sound body, she's of sound mind, and she's not absent. So unless she meets any of those criteria, there cannot be a regency. But if she discusses with the ministers and the prime ministers and it gets through Parliament that at age 95 she would like age to be a reason, then they could change the Regency Act. They could put it in that once a monarch reaches a specified age, that they can choose whether they want their heir to be regent on their behalf. So that option could be put in, but again, we don't know entirely. We'll have to wait until the Queen is 95. Melthorne says, thanks for clearing the Prince of Wales as a session process. You are more than welcome. No, I didn't. The Cambridges didn't go to the Middletons last year. I believe they were at Sandringham. I'm sure they were at Sandringham. Unless I've got completely mixed up. I think they were at Sandringham. So perhaps they will be at the Middletons this year. Okay, let's see if I can get through a few comments. I'm skipping. Bola says, is it true Doria's been invited for Christmas? We don't know. I spoke about that at length earlier on in the video, so I'm going to kind of skip through that a little bit, but the upshot is we don't know. Jojo says, you're positively glowing. Thank you. Maya J says, very dewy. Johan says, Rosewater is a great face toner. It is. That's why I bought it. Look at my lovely dewy glow. Dewy glow, rather. Something's got to preserve this face. Yes, Marie, the hemp does stink. It does. Well, not stink, not like unbearable stink, but it works. It really does work. And I think they do different scents as well. Hello to Barbara Smith. And yes, I did talk about that comment, so you'll have to watch on catch up. If you've missed anything, by the way, anybody, if you've joined late or whatever, you can, of course, go back after the chat is finished and watch everything on catch up. And yes, I think Camilla probably was a bit maybe hot on the tour in Africa. It does get very, very hot. Donna says, do I get recognised on the street? No. No one's ever come up to me and said, are you Royal Reviewer? I'd like an autograph. No, that's not happened. I am not at that level. I'm not Angelina Jolie. But it would be amazing if it did. I don't know, I'd probably drop down. I'd probably drop and faint. Was I in the audience of the last leg? No. Who did you see? Do I have a doppelganger? And yes, Joanna Lumley did say that Camilla is terrified of flying. She doesn't like it. And she's not a fan of the heat, which is why she always got her parasol. I love her parasol. My day says, makes notes to pace oneself, not stop. Yes, do not stop, but pace yourself. And yes, I am really behind on the comments. I'm drinking water and I'm not pregnant. It's fake news that I'm pregnant. I'm looking flushed. Do I need more glow? If I'm flushed, I need more glow. Oh, I need more glow if I'm looking flushed. We have a cat come in. Hello, Molly. She's looking around and seeing all the setup and thinking, it's not normally like this. I want to come and sit down in my living room. Come on then. Come and say hello. Come on. She's meowing at me. Come here. Come here. Hello, sweetie. Do you want to come on? Here you go. Do you want to sit down? You can sit by me if you want to. I'm not bothered. You can say hello to everybody. Yes. Let's have a look. Vinny Blair says, saw the documentary, didn't like much of it. Or maybe it's because the press has spun every statement into conspiracy. I loved the documentary. I thought it was amazing. And like I say, I will go on at length in a separate pop-up chat. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, SE 1964 says, think I'm late. Did you watch the Festival of Remembrance? No, because I knew I was doing my live chat, but I've recorded it. So I am going to watch it as soon as I finish and I've packed away all my set. I will be watching it. But I kind of saw a little picture, a little peek of Her Majesty the Queen. And she did look amazing. People have told me that she looks amazing in the back. I only saw a very quick glimpse, but apparently she looks amazing. And I think from what I saw briefly, she did as well. But I am definitely looking forward to watching the Festival of Remembrance. It's recorded. Apparently 328 are watching. No, 310 at the moment. I am behind. I am very behind. Is it cold weather in England? A bit rainy and a bit drab and a bit miserable. Not like the Caribbean. I know I have some Caribbean viewers and I'm so jealous. I wish to be in the Caribbean somewhere. Mustique would be nice. I think Princess Margaret had the right idea. Mustique. I wish I was in Mustique. Have I bought any new clothes lately? No, because it's still kind of. I'm very, very fussy with clothes. But when I do my weekly vlog, I will. If I buy anything, I will put it in there. Sanju says, where does the Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla's children of first marriage live? In their own homes. And Camilla does keep her original house that she's always had. And I think is it Raymill or something of that nature. And she does go there to spend time with her grandchildren and her family. So, you know, she does, like I said, she does pace herself and she does make time, a decent amount of time for her family and, you know, her children and her grandchildren, as she should. You know, just because you've married into the royal family does not mean that you have to abandon your family. She does spend a lot of quality time with her grandchildren and children. And she did say in the documentary about Charles, she did say that he is fantastic with her grandchildren and he loves Harry Potter. My goodness, I didn't know this, but he reads Harry Potter to them and he does all the voices. I would love to have to hear an audio book of Prince Charles narrating Harry Potter. Who would love that? Apparently he does all the voices. And one of the things that came through from the documentary is noises. Charles and Camilla absolutely, one of their triggers, which is why sometimes we see them giggling uncontrollably, one of their triggers, I'm convinced, is noises, weird noises, different kind of sounding noises, funny sounding noises. Apparently he crawls on the floor making noises to the grandkids, and he spends lots of time you know, really being a good granddad. But William and Harry did say that they wished that he had more time to be doing that because he's so busy and a workaholic, falls asleep at his desk, all the rest of it. You know, they wish he had a little bit more time. So Charles, pace yourself. Listen to Camilla. You need to pace yourself. But yes, I definitely think one of their triggers, one of their shared joys and passions is noises. They do like a good strange noise, so it seems. Very, very fun. They seem such a very fun couple, actually. I think you could definitely have some fun with them, definitely. Oh, a little bit of an ear twinge. Okay. Let's have a look. First, Mrs. R says, speaking about Eugenie's wedding, what do you think about Andrew and Sarah's interaction at the wedding? Did it seem less romantic? No, I think Sarah Ferguson, Sarah, Duchess of York, was incredibly animated the whole time with everybody. She looked like she was having a whale of a time. My goodness, was she? I wish there was Fergie Cam. I could have watched Fergie Cam all day on that wedding. It was amazing. I loved the way that she was interacting with everyone. And in the interview, okay, we haven't spoken about the interview that she's given. I skim read it, so I don't know all the details. But she did talk about remarriage to Andrew, and she said that basically, in a nutshell, they are so happy the way they are. It suits them both. She didn't discount it. She didn't say, no, we're never going to get married ever again. But she said that it suits their relationship, suits them, and they work together incredibly well as a team for the girls. And yeah, and she said, you know, she married the most handsome prince in the world, and she said that if I remember correctly, she said that her wedding day was the happiest day of her life. It's still the happiest day of her life. So yeah, I mean, I think reading between the lines, it seems like she was kind of saying, yes, we're still together, but we aren't going to get remarried yet. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but reading between the lines, that's kind of what it felt like. And, you know, who knows, maybe just their situation and their way of life it does work for them. And I'm happy that she was finally open and able to discuss that. And anyway, it's none of our business, really. We can all want them to get remarried. I personally think they should. I think they're incredibly well suited. But if they're happy the way they are, then that is okay with me. Oh, and no, I haven't watched the Harry and Meghan tour documentary yet. Dion says, I really enjoyed hearing you say dirty wine. I know what a dirty wine and what a mapuka is. Oh, I'm a man of the world. I know these things. I know my dirty wines from my twerks. And by now, so does Charles. Yvette says, very joyous dancing. It was indeed. Live, love and laugh is laughing at dirty wine. Yes, give me a big old thumbs up. Oh, Vinny plays the painting of the Queen is slightly askew. Is it? Oh, hang on. Better? Oh, it'll have to do. It'll have to do. Ugh. Google Slime says, tell the Queen I said hello. I'm now about a week behind on the comments. I probably am. Is that better with a picture? I don't know what Pippa's son's name is. If it's been announced, I've missed it. But no, I don't know what it is. People talking about the split, which I've spoken about. Vinny Blair says, who do you think will get to run the Prince's Trust when Charles ascends the throne? Well, I mean, a charity, it's not necessarily just passed down. I mean, in theory, Charles could still lead it, I suppose. But he may offer it to William, although William did indicate that he wanted to do things his way. He wanted to be his own man. Maybe Harry could take it on. Like I say, there's no direct passing down of charities. But I'm sure it will be given to whoever wants to take up that kind of lead. But like I say, he could still carry on doing it himself. But obviously, he probably wouldn't have the same level of time to dedicate to it. Camilla says, I'm so much more sweeter looking than Angelina Jolie. Do you think? Do I have the dewy glow? Let's have a look. I'm going to try and skip down some of these comments. I think I am getting down them. Christine says, Molly is so sweet. She looks like my Holly. She's scratching away in the corner over there. Scratching at the carpet, I might add. She's saying, Daddy, hurry up. I need food. Oh no, Joyce has got the flu. I hope you get better. Mary says, Caribbean is very hot, nearly 31 degrees. So jealous of my parents. SC 1964 says, the festival this year could possibly have been the best. I can't comment. I haven't watched it. I will be watching straight after. But yes, I can imagine it would have been one where they pulled out all the stops because of the special anniversary. Live, Love and Laugh says, I would love to listen to Prince Charles narrate Harry Potter. I think his voice is soothing. Can you imagine Prince Charles ASMR? Wow, that would be a whole new world. My goodness. Charles, if you're listening, we need to hear you read some Harry Potter. We really do. And we need some voices. I want to hear you do Mrs. Weasley. Leave some comments. Whose voice from Harry Potter would you love Prince Charles to just do a little snippet of and just put it out there? Let us know. Charles, you need to do Harry Potter. You really do. You've teased us, and now we want to know. Let's have a look. I'm skipping a few more comments. Maya J says, maybe we should get you a parasol. I would love a nice frilly Camilla parasol. I would use it as well. most definitely. Yvette says, the more I learn of Prince Charles, the more I like. I think Prince Charles has always been exactly the same person. He's always been concerned with the environment and architecture and young people, and he's always tried to push those kind of issues. I think as he's got older, he's become a little bit more relaxed. And we do see when he's out on engagements, lots more, touching and that kind of thing going on. That kind of human side of him has definitely developed and come out. Possibly because of other previous royals examples. One bit in the documentary which I did love, I know I'm talking about bits of the documentary all the way through, but I loved when he was with, was it Vanuatu or was it Dominica? And there was the ladies farming cooperative, and he met all these ladies, and one was blowing a shell, making this incredible noise. Again, Charles loves the noises. So he was very impressed with her playing, and he seemed to, well, they loved him. They absolutely loved him. And he was saying, I hope I'm still alive to see the trees, come to fruition. And they were going, you will be, you will be, you will be. And they thanked him for coming. And, I think whenever there's a natural disaster, he does feel like, I need to be there. I need to go there, and I need to, kind of see this thing and help these people, because obviously, lots of natural disasters these days are a result of climate change. Some are just, natural disasters. They happen. But a lot of them these days are caused because of what we're doing to the environment. And I think he sees it as, he needs to see what's going on, and actually, see the people on the ground who are affected by it. And that came through in the documentary. Sue Miller says, don't forget Charles is a Goons fan, and I remember those shows containing loads of funny noises. He loves noises. I'm putting it out there. Oh, did I just do a Trump hand? Oh no, I just did a Trump hand. Okay. Karen Warren, I missed it, but thank you. Karen Warren has used Super Chat. And I think you've donated $25. So thank you so much. I'm going to give you a big yellow fan flap. For some reason, I can't pull up the comment bit. So if you put a comment with it, I'm sorry, but I can't get to it. But thank you so much for your Super Chat donation. It really does help. Deslin says, I loved it too. I learned a lot about Prince Charles. No, there will never be an attempt to force the Queen to step down. Most definitely not. She will, she will indicate when the time is ready. Ingrid thinks Sarah and Andrew should remarry. Deslin says, I'm in the US and I want to know how you can get the stamps. I think there was a link on the Clarence House Twitter, possibly about how you can get it, or just go to the Royal Mail. Go royalmail.com or .co.uk, and I'm sure there will be some kind of, way that you can purchase them. Jamie says, I'm not kidding. I've just got a notification on my phone. Camilla's thrown out. The Queen refused. I'm not kidding. Oh, how many times has Camilla been chucked out the palace in the past 6 months? I think, are we up to about 5 now? It's ridiculous, isn't it? Betsy says, correct, chapeau. Okay, Lisa D has found the link. Hallelujah. For the Charles documentary. So do go check that one out. Do I need a drink? Yes, I think I do. SC1964 said the singing was splendid. Are we still on about the Remembrance? If it's splendid, I really need to see it. Oh, Sam says, let us make Prince Charles do the voice of Hagrid. I want to see him do these voices. I'm teased. I really am. Mrs. VSN says, in the Queen of the World documentary, Prince Charles was asked by the youth in India his favourite book, and he mentioned Harry Potter and asked if they had read it. Who doesn't love Harry Potter? It's really good. And if you haven't read it, I think you should. It's not just a children's book. There are so many things in those books for adults too, and the plot is really, really good. And it's just pure fantasy and escapism. So if you haven't, do read the Harry Potters. Camille wants to hear Charles do Professor Trelawney's voice. Dobby. Okay, let's have a look. Sanju says, does Prince Harry and Duchess Meagan be allowed to travel on the Royal Britannia ship? There is no Royal Britannia ship. Oh, that's one of my pet peeves. Please, will someone give the Queen back a new Britannia? My goodness, she deserves it. No, I really do think there is a place in Britain for a new Royal Yacht Britannia. I am a huge advocate of, hashtag get the Queen a new ship. Yeah, really. People think, well, why? Why, isn't it expensive? Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's not just that, it's the symbolism. And there is also a political usage as well. Post-Brexit, when Britain has left, whatever happens with Brexit, we are going to be able to make our own trade deals across the world. And what better way than to send a royal yacht around the world to, do trade deals on? The previous royal yacht, I think within the last 5 years of its existence, there was, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, possibly billions of pounds worth of trade deals signed on it. It's a really incredibly useful tool. Even if you don't call it a royal yacht, call it the Royal Trade Ship or something like that. But if it has a royal association, it's so good. And it's like sending a floating palace all the way around the world. And it's incredibly useful for royal tours. And I just think it's really, really good for Britain. Kind of like a statement for Britain. We're here, we're open, we're ready for business. Let's make the most of this. Whether people voted for Brexit or not, it seems like it's going to happen. And, we need to make the best of it. And, I think a nice, new, lovely royal trade ship would be an ideal tool to really help make it work. Why drop off a cliff when we can fly or float? We can float. We can sail into the future. There you go. Hashtag get the Queen a new ship. Laurie Clark says, took me forever to get here. I got a chance to watch the first half of Prince Charles' documentary and you're enjoying it. As you should. Oh, by the way, Britannia, you can visit it. I think is it Leaf Docks in Scotland, kind of close to Edinburgh, and you can board it. You can go on there. You could see how it is. You can see the workings of it. It's still in existence, but it's not in use. It is now a major tourist attraction. Jamie says, I got the notification from the USA Express. Who are they? Never heard of them. I'm not even subscribed, and YouTube sent me a notification. I don't even get notifications from YouTube. I have no idea how you got that. Live, Love and Laugh says, in the 70s and 80s, Prince Charles did talk a lot about greenhouses, conservation, or as we call it now, climate change. People used to make fun of him, and used to call him crazy. He was ahead of his time, and people, I think, are eating their words now. Vicky P says, the Queen has on red lipstick tonight. She looks so useful. Oh, I need to go see it. SC 1964 says, the media is a demon. It is indeed. But I'm an angel. I think you mean mainstream media. But yes, certainly nothing fake on this channel. I will always, my promise, I pledge before you all now, whether my life be long or short, that I will dedicate my entire life to only giving out the truth. Most definitely. Yes, I will not be a demon. I will be a saint. Oh, yes, I wonder what house Prince Charles would be sorted into in Harry Potter. He strikes me... Prince Charles is a Hufflepuff. Definitely. Yes, Prince Charles is a Hufflepuff, and his favourite subject would be... What's the gardening one called? Oh, I forgot. Herbology. His favourite subject would be herbology, and he would be a Hufflepuff. Sanju says, will Prince Harry and Meghan be allowed to travel on the royal train? If it is assessed that the royal train is the most appropriate form of transport to an event, because of course you can sleep on it, then yes, there is no reason why they wouldn't be allowed to use the royal train. But it would have to be the most appropriate form of transport, because they look at all different forms of transport, whether it be car, helicopter, normal train, royal train, aeroplane. They look at everything to see what's the most cost-effective and appropriate and safe form of transport. Oh, I think I'm down the bottom of the comments at last. Kelly says, the Mail Online commentators are so negative about Meagan, calling her Meagan, for instance. Do most people in England really dislike her so much? No, I don't think most people do. In my own life in Britain, I've not heard anybody being negative about her. I think it is only a certain selection of people that like their voice heard very loudly. Mrs. BSN says, no, the royal train is for senior royals. If it's the most appropriate form of transport, it can be used. Karen Warren says, big thumbs up for me. Thank you so much. And I am finally, I do believe, down at the bottom of the comment section. How many people are watching? 293. Let me see if I've missed anything. Let's have a look. We've spoken about the gossip and the possible fake news. Oh, there was a new photo just briefly flashed on the screen. I'm sure you've all seen screenshots of it, because people have been asking me, when will we see a new photo of Prince Louis? We saw one in the interview, in the documentary rather. One was flashed on screen, so there was a new photograph of Charles and Katherine and Prince Louis. So do go and check out that one. I'm sure there's a million screenshots all the way around the place. And Prince Harry today was laying a wreath at the latest England rugby game at Twickenham, and I thought he did a really good job. It was raining, he got absolutely soaked, but he was very stoic and did his duty. Oh no, has something happened? Have I frozen? I don't think I have frozen. But I'm not getting any more comments coming through. Hang on a minute. Let me see if something's up. I know what's up. Okay, let's restart the internet. I have no idea if this is still recording, whether it will go live or not, but sometimes my internet has the habit of cutting out, and I have to literally turn everything off and restart. So I have no idea when I'm going to pop back on live, but let's just carry on anyway. I have no idea where it cut off from. Let's take a little peek. Okay. It's just waiting, so I am going to wait now to come back on. And I'm going to give myself a little fan while I'm waiting. So let's just fan myself, because I have no idea if you can hear me or see me or not. So let's just go with it. I've restarted the internet, and I'm now waiting to be reconnected. Okay, hang on. Let's just see. Come on, internet. Yes, I've had this little internet problem for a while now. Sometimes, literally, the internet just drops out, and I have to turn everything off, the entire modem and everything. until it reconnects. So let's just see. And I'll take this opportunity to have a drink as well. Okay. Let's see. Come on, connection. Let's be having you. Please work. Oh, I think we are connected. Are we back on? Am I live again? Can you all see me? Oh, apparently I'm back online, I think. Let's see. Oh, I'm back. Aha, right, I'm back. Please let me know, was there any time when it literally cut off? And how long was it for? I have no idea when it cut off. So, because I was so behind on the comments. So let me know. Let's just go back up a little moment. Okay, you also see me. I'm glad I kept on talking then, because you can all still see me. Okay, let me just go back up a few comments, because I have no idea where it cut off. Okay, I'm gonna start with SC 1964's comment. So sorry if I've missed some of your comments, but I'm going to start with SC's, who says, hashtag, get the Queen a new ship. Yes, get the Queen a new ship. And if you want to call it McBoaty McBoatface, that's fine. But yes, get the Queen, get the hashtag, get the Queen a new ship. Right, let's scroll down a little bit, because I have no idea where I actually cut off. Danica 1975 says, I agree completely about Britannia. It was sad to see the Queen holding back the tears. It was cruel and so unnecessary. It just needed the engines updating. Prince Philip said that. Let's have a little peeky. What's going on? Werner says, traveling by yacht these days in certain areas is not a good idea. All those pirates looking for their next prey. Oh, I'm sure they could affix some guns to the new Royal Yacht Britannia. You can just imagine. You can just imagine Philip. Shoot the buggers. Yes, no, I'm sure a future Royal Yacht Britannia would be pirate proof. Hashtag make it pirate proof. Yes, poor Camilla. She must be covered in bruises being chucked out of the palace all those times. Ah, on her bottom with the suitcase. Yes, totally fake news, of course. Oh no, I forgot to find out about using his wedding ring. But no, I don't think it has any Welsh gold in it. I think there is only a limited amount of nugget left, but I do need to research that. Vianua says Prince Charles is funny, like his Harry. When he's speaking, he sounds just like Harry. Listening to his speaking in Ghana, the order, it was amazing. They both do public speaking very, very well. I would agree. I agree, Maya. Britannia did make money for the government. No, I do not think Prince Harry got a new home in Malibu. No. As far as we're aware, we don't even know what country property he's got in the UK yet. Never mind Malibu. Vicky P loved the photo of Prince Louis. Yes, I will put the PO box address somewhere. Ooh, Martin Gahan did get the new photograph of Katherine and Louis in the post. Okay, people are saying I've just caught up. People are saying they still see me. Yes, like I say, sometimes my internet just drops out, and then I have no idea whether people can see me or not. Midnight Hazel says, you're alive. I was indeed. I'm really pleased that I kept on talking all the way through, because that would have been very boring. Very boring indeed. And yes, apparently the Queen does have on red lipstick. SC9064 says, sadly, Britannia's loss is thanks to Tony Blair. He didn't make any effort to fix it whatsoever. It could have so easily been fixed. Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, did say that, wasn't it running on, was it diesel engines? No, was it petrol, and then it could have been changed to diesel or something like that. But apparently the engines could have been changed, but it was in perfect form, apparently. And even as a tourist attraction now, I mean, it still is really, really good. But yes, I think they could definitely make something good of a new trade ship. Gail says, good to see you again. Maya J says, I always thought that Blair was jealous because he couldn't be the Queen and wear her crown. That's one possible theory. Running Late says, you are not fake. I'm not fake. I'm definitely not fake. It's getting quite hot in here. Okay, I think I possibly outstayed my welcome. So I am going to end tonight's chat here. So thank you to everybody who has contributed or watched or given me a thumbs up or shared on social media. It really does help. And of course, I will be back next week live at 10 o'clock GMT, ready with all the royal news, and I will be looking out. I will be using my goggles and looking out for fake royal news. My eyes are on you, fake news channels and gossip channels. I'm watching with my opera glasses. So be warned. And of course, don't forget, I will make some kind of a video. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to... Ooh, bit blurry there. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but I will do some kind of video, of course, about Remembrance Sunday tomorrow, which I would love to be at. I really would love. I'd love to be at loads of different royal events. I really would. I could vlog with my little camera, with my little phone. I'd just poke it up there and go, I'll do a little bit of a vloggy vlog. And I'd also love to do some interviews, maybe with some royals. Oh yes, that would be amazing. I could be the Shane Dawson of the royal world. I love Shane Dawson. If you don't know who he is, check him out. He's really good. His channel on YouTube is amazing. So yes, just a few wishes for the future. Definitely. So yes, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media and hit that notification bell. And I will be doing a pop-up video at some point about the Charles documentary. And hopefully, I know I said it last week and I haven't done it, but hopefully I will start my vlogs again soon. So thank you for watching, and from me in Shropshire, goodbye.